Support for this podcast comes from the patrons at patreon.com/FMLFPL. Okay! Welcome to FMLFPL Alon.
This Walsh.
Might have heard a little extra fucking horse coarse voice over here on that. Okay.
How you doing, Dougie?
I'm in rough shape over here. How about you?
Yeah, I don't know, fine.
We're mourning our Mets. Yeah. I'm mourning my voice at back-to-back Mets games.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. But,
it's there's like this uneasy tension in the house over the weekend because all Lauren wants more than absolutely anything in the world is for the Mets to lose. Like that's
just
it.
So
that's
your baseball
everything.
Season's over.
Yeah, that's everything to her. And I'm like pacing and obviously a nervous wreck and yeah.
Fuck.
So she got her wish.
She got at least someone wins because we certainly didn't. Yeah.
My family.
Yeah, your family wins.
But not the man of the house.
No. We always lose. I mean, we're bred to be able to take the punishment. So
fucking born to suffer.
Yeah.
Pure and simple.
Speaking of suffering, let's talk about FPL. How'd your team do here?
Well, I took my hit came out fucking right on the nose, 0.
What was the hit again?
I got Sess and Martial in for Mitro and Fofana. So it prevented me from having Pereira 6 in, which would have just been save 6 done. I got 10 instead, -4, so that's how that shakes out.
Sure.
Don't have Cancelo. Got 68 points after the hits accounted for 72 -4. Captain the guy, got some points. Goalkeeper, no clean, game week 10 coming on, no big deal, no problem.
Unbelievable streak.
We shoot 4-11 next week at United. Should stay intact. They probably won't clean. So I like that for me next week. And happy I got to Sess.
I was really surprised that when I looked at the averages and shit, because Cancelo is still 90% owned in the elite teams. He puts up an 18-pointer. The elite average is 68.8. Like, we're right there without everyone in that category getting an 18-pointer. Top 10K average, 68.97. He's 78.93% owned. So everyone got the Cancelo 18-pointer, and yet we were even with them, which I thought was really surprising.
Yeah, it's like, this season, it seems like has been every week is, how am I going to stumble to just barely hit the mark that everyone else is, whether it's not captaining Holland before, whether it's not owning the guy, it's just whatever. But I am happy I got to Sess in the end because that took me a lot of time to deliberate on that 4 or 5 guy. And I've been trying to back our picks,
Yeah.
Like backing the guys we talk about.
We both
he probably won't play next week and I'll just be sitting here like my dick in my hands, but it felt good for right away.
2 red flags, Tony Hurd, and Sess.
Dude, it was like the only clean of the weekend. It was like City, Chelsea, and Spuds were literally 3 cleans all weekend.
Yeah, but my Reece James has 1 point.
Oh,
what happened? Thought he cleaned.
Perisic.
But look, I got a Kev clean right here. I got a Pereira clean right here. I got 6-pointers all over the place. You got
6-pointers. There's more than one way to get the 6-pointer.
Yeah. So I'm on 64. I didn't hit. I also brought in Sesta, which is, a +5 for me transfer. So that's pretty good. Immediate return. Obviously Cap Holland. Dude, Dom with the 8-pointer. Can't believe you didn't mention that. What a fucking god legend he is.
It's just such a expected thing that it didn't really clock for me.
Didn't even register as a thing.
Of course, Solanke's getting points because he's a great pick who we've been backing since preseason. So
yeah, I think Cole is throwing him on the fucking thumbnail. So good job by Cole. But I got all the normal stuff that I think most people have: Cap Holland, Martinelli, Kev. A lot of people got Pereira because of the no Mitro. Trips. I mean, he must just be like flying in his price because I assume everyone every week is just bringing him in regularly, right?
He's already up to 5.6. He started
5.6.
He started at 5. So
so that's going to become like kind of an irrelevant source of points eventually, but it's not there yet. It doesn't seem like. But Mata 1-pointer, Mo 2-pointer, Reese 1-pointer. Guaita's been a complete disaster. I mean, Palace keeping it clean just seems like a ridiculous fantasy of a fantasy that it just will never happen. But you got me a save point, so it's a small win. I'll take it at this point. I'll take a 3-pointer. Felt like a lot from him.
Yeah, I mean, we only have one.
But I was wrong there. Yeah, and I doubled on my early wild card, and it's just been really bad. So I don't know. I'm not going to use a transfer there or anything, but just not a great spot to be in.
Yeah. Team's in good shape. More or less.
Good. Yeah, my team's good.
Yeah.
Big few weeks coming in here though before the World Cup, so we'll get into that a little bit. Let me do league updates. Shout out to the Prize League Mug League leader so far for October. Baker still in the pole position at the top. Nariman Navai, aka Debarna Forst, in second, and Evan McGill, aka Son of a Pitch, aka Son of Tyler McGill, in third. And then shout out to the leader of the FMLFPL Public League, Robin Smith, aka Yan Tan Leather, takes the lead. So that other guy that's been in the league all season finally falls to Robin Smith. Good job by you. Where should we begin, bro? Actually, I know where to begin.
All right.
Because so many questions are about City, are about Arsenal, and are about the blank. Because they're just so clearly the best two teams in the league right now, with all of the best assets in the game right now, and they both blank in Game Week 12, so everyone's freaking out. So let's just start with City, I guess. Catfink said, which City players are worth keeping through the blank? I have Kevin Cancelo. Which would you drop to bring in Foden for 13? Oxbill says, is it overthinking to shift out Kev for Cancelo to make your City trio Haaland, Foden, Cancelo? Frees up a lot of fun since you aren't capping Kev anyway. Josh said, is holding Kev, Haaland, Cancelo too much value on the bench for the blank in 12? Selling Kev feels bad, but he's the one that's got to go of the three blankers. So here we are. Kev has fucking 10 returns, and it seems like he's kind of the obvious one that you would sell of the four main picks, right?
But why? Where are you going there?
I guess it's just to spread money to other places, turn your 4-5 mid into Bowen or something.
I just don't think you sell for what, for 1 week? Like, the guy you get in is probably going to fucking blank anyway. Most players blank every week.
These questions are all not to get rid of a City asset, but to just change from like Kev to Foden or Kev to Cancelo in a double move, I guess, is what people are asking here.
To redistribute which Foden, 3 City you have?
Yeah.
I just think if you have whatever 3 of the 4 you have, just don't bother fucking with it. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's not really 3. It's what 2 of the other 3 do you have between Foden, De Bruyne, and Cancelo, right?
Cancelo,
you have 2 of them, so you just keep them, I think. I don't think you're going to really be gaining to the field by spending 2 transfers to kind of shuffle them around. You can't really make that sound, I think, arguments that like one is definitely better than the other. And I don't really see what the money freed from doing Kev down does at all. I mean, there are no good premium picks in the game except for Kane, really, and Haaland, who's basically, we're playing with 10 men right now. So
I assume that people would be doing something like a 4-5 to Bowen or some shit like that. 4-5 to Matto.
But then you're going to have a benching headache. I mean, then you're going to structurally be fucking your team up. I just think you hold. What do you think? I mean,
none of them are bad picks. Clearly, I think that's very, very team dependent on like if a double move makes more sense for you or not. But I think like almost the bigger question here is, I feel like 3-4 weeks ago, we were talking like, all right, well, we'll slowly like wane off our Arsenal City, maybe for the blank, get them back, whatever. At this point, it's like, I just don't care about the blank really at all. Like, people who are like avoiding getting City assets because of the blank or Arsenal assets because of the blank are just like losing so many points right now because they're just too good of assets, you know?
Yeah. I mean, and I think the last couple of weeks, right? I mean, we've had ours and we're just sitting with them or whatever, and it's been fine. But I mean, you're not bringing them in now, right?
I don't know.
I mean, how could you bring them in now? They have one game before a blank. That you can't do that.
I mean, I guess
for one game.
Flipping the question back is like, okay, so how bad is one blank in the scheme of things when I feel like broadly everyone's going to be benching 3 between their City and Arsenal assets, right?
Yeah.
Like everyone has so many that'll be the case. So people are putting in their fucking worst players. Worst possible players. Like most people will have like probably 10 men, and everyone will be putting in, you know, Pereira,
some shitty
fucking
4-5
Nico,
defenders,
and some piece of shit.
Yeah.
Is that bad? Like I'd rather have
it's not
Martinelli,
that bad, but are you gonna
Martinelli for Leeds and then like down one man to Nico Williams?
I mean, so would you transfer in Martinelli? You don't have Martinelli. Would you transfer him in right now instead of Zaha?
Probably.
Because I mean, that's what we're. So you would rather have Martinelli right now to get the Leeds game and then a blank, and then to just have him in your team rather than having Wilf, who has Leicester and Wolves in the next 2, and then like, I don't know.
Yeah,
that doesn't make any sense to me.
I think so because it's not just that Wilf has Leicester and Wolves; it's that Wilf has Leicester, Wolves, and then I have to use a transfer to get Martinelli anyway. Yeah. So it's really just home Wolves. It's home Wolves plus a free transfer or Martinelli. And I'm just like, I'd just rather have Martinelli.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know about transferring these players in to give yourself more 0s and 12 just to try and spike one over someone who's like playing.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's the rest of the, you know, period until the World Cup that you're gonna want 3 and 3. Like, for sure.
Yes. I mean, it does seem right now that that's where everything is pointing, right?
Yeah. So that's where I think it gets really tricky, you know?
Yeah. Definitely.
You know, and we got a bunch of questions about the blank. I'm not going to read all of these, but, you know, Pick said, how many players should we be looking to have? Hemnog, who do you think's the best cap in blank game week 12? Blacho said, is it silly to use free hit? Yeah, Blacho said, is it silly to use free hit for game week 12? I mean, how are you approaching game week 12 as of right now? Like captain, whatever. What's your team?
I mean, I haven't looked at captain at all. I mean, right now I have the 3 City attackers and I have Martinelli. Those are my players that are blanking.
Yeah.
Over the last couple of weeks, my plan was like, oh yeah, I'll just get rid of Martinelli, bench my City guys, and have as many players as I can. I mean, I've been getting, I mean, my team's been absolutely getting fucked so upside the ass sideways. I don't even know what to do with. I mean, other than the Soufal pick, which was my own fault, and I regret that gravely. But yeah, I mean, Patterson got hurt, like Fofana got hurt. I had to use a transfer. So I had to use all these transfers I didn't expect to use.
20 minutes into the game, that's right.
After 20 minutes, yeah. And I mean, that might not be that bad. I mean, I have to wait and see on that because if he doesn't play this week, I could get Pereira. It might not be that big of a deal if he's going to be healthy for, you know, but I mean, the next game's on fucking Wednesday. So they play on Thursday. So I should get more information. But I mean, it's like some fucking back injury. I mean, what? Like, I don't know. So yeah, I mean, I have all these players who are actually injured and or not playing. So using my transfers on those players rather than like a really good asset who's just missing a game because of scheduling is what now I feel like I'm forced to do. So I don't think I'm going to be using any transfers on my City or Arsenal players. And I'm focusing on, because I still don't like my defense. I have Dalot, who's, you know, just bad. I have Trips, who's my start every week, but I have Dalot and Cess. And that's it. You know, I mean, I need to get my plan was to rotate 2 spots from 4. Like when I have trips and then and now I've just been backed into a corner. So, you know, I need to address that, you know, more than anything. And, you know, Martial, I'm not sure about. So, But my team is definitely not similar to many I've seen in terms of how like fucked up and bad it is.
Yeah, with the injuries and stuff, it's a problem. I mean, I only have 3 from combined Arsenal and City, which is obviously not optimal, but very fine for game week 12. So I'm chilling. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm seeing teams that are like, I'm gonna have 9 players in game week 12, and I'm in my head, I'm just like, I just don't think that's a big deal. I really don't. I think like average will be around 9 or 10 because probably people aren't going to use their transfers to like get out all these amazing assets who they have value in just to get them right back in for game week 13.
People also have 4 or 5 forwards who don't play. People have Nico who's suddenly just back up to Aurier. So I think like having blanks isn't a
8 or 9 I think is fine. I honestly think that's totally fine. In terms of captaincy, though, it's hard.
But if your team is just good and you can use a transfer to kind of swap, snap in and out, that's also fine.
Yeah, probably fine. Yeah, if you're living in the world where like you have 2 frees in game week 12 and you use 1 to go like bingo bango and then bring them right back in 13, sick. But I don't know. But what about cap? I mean, in game week 12, I do think it's important because this is who people are going to target to transfer in.
Yeah.
And like, obviously, Liverpool are still just not clicking at all. Mo's not clicking at all. And it's still a tough fixture, home West Ham. So I think that's kind of like out the window right now.
I mean, it's going to be just punt central, I think.
Right? I think like looking at the fixtures, it's like Maddo.
Yeah.
Bowen,
Mo is going to be capped.
Trossard, Mo, whoever's starting at forward for like Newcastle.
Yeah, maybe Wilf is a rogue shout. Chelsea, I mean, you could like maybe like something like Raz or something. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, but I don't know if you're sitting here today when like there's Champions League, then there's the games at the weekend,
and then more Champions League, or no, then midweek. Yeah,
like. I mean, this is 3 games in a week. I mean, we don't even know who's going to fucking be playing. It could just be carnage. I mean, we could just get a couple guys sat and maybe we get 6 out. We don't know. It could be really fucking bad.
Could be. Yeah, it could be bad.
But I just, it's just, I think it's far away. You're punting. I mean, you're just going to be punting. I definitely don't think like that Spurs, they're the best team in air quotes, I guess, that are playing. Liverpool, I don't know. We'll talk about Liverpool later, but I don't think that's like screams to me like Kane or Son. I mean, they don't play very good away stuff, So I think it is going to be a really big punty, very rogue captaincy week, and you're just going to hope you get lucky.
I mean, piggybacking off that for a sec, because we got no questions on Spurs, which is very rare. But personally, I just feel like Kane is a major blind spot for me this season. I mean, Spurs basically look bad in almost every game.
Every game. Yep.
Their attack just is not clicking at all. They're barely generating fucking anything. And yet Kane is just sitting here with 63 points. Not in either of our teams. He's blanked once all season, and it was game week 1.
Hasn't been in either our team all year.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah. And he's blanked only once all season, game week 1. Like, what the fuck?
He's price dropped.
Are we just being really dumb here and really stubborn because the team doesn't look good? We're ignoring a really good asset. Like, I'm like sitting here with Mo, and I'm like, how am I on Mo over Kane?
Yeah. The answer is yes.
The yes to we're just being stupid and stubborn?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're seeing enough from him that you just think it's just going to continue?
I'm like, I just want to like do this, like just take me away, officer. Because I'm sick and tired of saying and doing the same thing every week and still watching him just shit like headers and pens. I mean, he has 8 goals. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he had like 1 good goal. I don't even know what the fuck they are. They're on set pieces. Like half of them are on set pieces, into like headers from set pieces, and there's like a pen or something in there. He maybe has 1 goal with his fucking foot. I don't know what he's doing. He's price dropped. Started at 11.5, he's 11.4. He's the most fucking points in the game, basically, next to Holland. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But
and again, they play this again. They play Brighton. They win 1-0. Kane gets the fucking header. Spurs were dog shit. I mean, like, Kane wasn't good for any points. Spurs,
absolutely.
and it's just like, what the fuck is this?
I think it's, definitely we are being taken to the woodshed by Mo, and that has been a big issue for both of us. Not being able to quit him when all of the signs are like neon flashing that, this is not a good FPL pick right now. And we're just sitting here with him, like, thinking that there's going to be some
million.
Return to yesteryear. Yeah. Meanwhile, he's still the most expensive player in the game. And, it's just not there, right? He's not shooting. He's not doing any of the things. I mean, he has 2 goals and 4 assists.
Yeah, it's really just the shots. I was looking at stuff earlier just because I was like, curious about if what any people are saying is true at all, the width and blah, blah. None of that's true. That is all just absolute bullshit. But the one thing that is very true is the shots are like lowest since Roma in 2016. Like, he's just not getting shots off.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure there's a billion reasons, but just watching them play, I mean, they're still adjusting to life without Mane, and what the amount of, space and defenders he would draw away so that Mo could get shots, fine. But also, right, which we have been periodically touching on, he doesn't beat men anymore. Like, I'm sorry. He doesn't dribble players like he did 2 years ago or at the beginning of last year or 3 years ago. And a lot of the way he got shots was he gets the ball out on that elbow and he takes on a couple players and gets a snapshot off. He just doesn't do that anymore. And when he does, it usually gets blocked. And, that is, to me, watching him, what is just missing. And, no one's creating for him. He's not getting into good positions and taking, I don't know, but at this point is right. What are we doing? Like, it's insane because yes, they have good fixtures coming up. Like, yes, they could tweak a little bit here or there, but hey, Trent's hurt now, right? I mean, they still are betting in Darwin.
Diaz is hurt till after the World Cup. Hurt.
So like now, it's just everything is falling apart, and paying 13 million for him is just fucking insane. It's actually insane right now.
Yep.
And, I mean, I'm going to be sitting here Thursday night, like, how many hits am I taking? Because right now I want to take a lot. Right. But no, we're applying we can't apply the same logic to Mo as we are with Kane and say, but hold Mo, right? I mean, it's both of the team's attacks look broken and fucked up. The main difference is, talisman, say whatever you want, right? If Spurs do a thing, it's not likely that Kane's not going to be involved because they have 9 defenders and they have 2 attackers every fucking game.
And that is not an exaggeration, by the way. Yeah. I don't know if people saw my retweet. I didn't even it wasn't the type of thing that it didn't even register in my head when I saw the team sheet because it's just like such a normal Spurs team sheet that I didn't even register. But they played fucking keeper, 8 defenders, Son and Kane. It was insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Defenders / defensive mids. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't want to spend, 15 minutes talking about Spurs game and how they looked in the different phases of play they went through in the Brighton game. But, Kane's just getting points every game and Mo is getting blanks every game. And, it's not like Kane's out there shooting 8 times. I mean, they aren't getting 8 shots. He's not even in the fucking box 8 times because he's playing DM, right? Yep. But he's just getting points everywhere. It's like just take me away. I mean, you just don't want to keep betting against this because especially when our main bet against this is not only to bet that Kane's going to stop getting points, which doesn't look like it's going to happen. We're betting on Mo to get points. So we're fucking like double jeoparding ourselves into oblivion. It's a disaster. It's just a fucking disaster.
Yeah. I still just don't know what to do, right? Like their numbers are basically identical. What do I do with that? Does that mean that one is going to continue just way out overperforming and getting all the points and the other's going to continue underperforming and getting no points? Or does that mean that they're both going to regress? Or, like what the fuck? What is happening?
But that's where we have to use instinct and past experience and gut on this thing, right? There is an absolute diabolical stench coming out of Anfield. And Spurs are, people are criticizing them. It's not pretty.
But they're getting points. They're playing fine.
They're getting points. They're playing okay. They're winning. They're going to advance, And Kane's just doing Kane, blah, 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 mouth breathing. Okay, fine.
Yeah, sort of similar,
that's the thing.
like Spurs and Liverpool, like the one good thing you could say about both of them in a weird way is that like they're both playing at their worst. Right? Like Spurs are on 20 points in third place and they can't really play worse than this. They're just playing like completely like disconnected attacks. Son is playing the worst he's played in his Premier League career. He looks horrible every game. He's a nightmare. Like Kulu's out, whatever, and they're on fucking 20 points.
Yeah, but they're grinding it out.
But if I was gonna make a case for Mo, it would be the same case. It'd be like it can't really get worse. He's a huge differential, which he's never been in 5 years in the Premier League. And there's like not really a premium I'm in love with, right? Like if Spurs were fucking flying and banging,
yeah,
I would do Mo to Son yesterday, right? It's just like this is fucking easy,
Yeah.
But there's not really anyone where I'm like, I feel so good about this pick. I'm, like this is where I want to be right now. But it's fucking hard. I mean, we got Mo questions. Graham Burglar said, "Is Mo still the obvious cap for Game Week 12?" And then can I get a hell yes? And if you're on 3 City and have Mo, what should you do with him? For example, Kev is the obvious pick, but I already have him or can't get him. I'm asking for a friend. No reason to be ashamed there. But so is Kane just the answer to everything?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think, again, I think you should be in 3 premium. I think Kev, Holland, and Kane is basically where, everyone should be. I don't really understand
Kev,
why.
Holland, Kane, yeah.
Yeah, like I think that those are just like the 3 picks who are good, getting points. I mean, in City's case, should continue to get points, and in Kane's case, maybe will continue, I guess. But they just seem like those are the obvious choices. I mean, Mo is a differential for a reason. Like he looks like fucking shit, and the team looks like shit. I think this is another thing where for us is like updating the way that we're viewing things to the here and now, and not using so much of the banked goodwill or charity or capital to make a decision for us. Because right now, if you were beamed onto this planet at the beginning of this Premier League season and a lot about footy and you watch this Liverpool team, you're like, I don't want any of these players. I don't care what their price, right?
I think you would just get Darwin and you'd be like, why is Mo so expensive? That guy's getting all the big chances.
Yeah, fine. But you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I mean, the thing with Liverpool also that is, I think also a difficult like mental thing for people to adjust to is we're sitting here, nightmare, hellish season. Everything you said, I completely agree with. They're tied with Spurs for goals with a game in hand and for third in the league. They're the 4th best XG in the league because they're coming from such a high place.
Yeah.
That their nightmare season is still like, they're still a top 5 attack in the league.
Yeah. 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 All right. I mean, we could do this for another long time.
Yeah. I mean, it is tough, interesting though. That's why it's fun to like rant about. Cause it's like, this is like a crazy, crossroads of like with the blank and holding Mo or not holding Mo. Yeah. We won't know until, after the fucking shit happens.
Right.
So, we'll see that. Jitterbug asked about Bob. I would absolutely not go Bob.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's actually crazy shout.
I think I get it because he just has points and people love points. But Jitterbug was asking about Darwin, but FPL Overthinker was asking about Bob. But it's just Bob has just actually been horrible for Liverpool all season. He just happens to have some goals. Like he's
Which
just
is
been
really weird for him.
Yeah, no, he's at the opposite like career path of most people probably. It's like all of a sudden he's just like getting goals. But honestly, he's just having like a really hot first few games, 5 games, whatever. But he's playing badly in terms of like link up and hold up and pressing and all the stuff that he used to be so good at, so I don't know. I still just don't think he should be first choice or will be first choice. So that's that on Liverpool.
It's frustrating that everyone's a forward, like Darwin and Jota are forwards.
I know,
like,
fucking
we don't have any other, and with Diaz hurt, right? It's just there's no midfield spot option there, really.
That's annoying because I honestly do still think Darwin is like a very worth it punt. Like, he's getting all the big chances that Mo isn't getting. Like, every game. Arsenal game, perfect example. Like, he only got the one goal, but if you watch that game live or even maybe on highlights, I don't know if it shows it, but every single time Liverpool were countering, he was clean through in the middle of the box, just beating whatever center back was trying to mark him. It was just they only got the ball to him one time.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's the thing that's even going to be. We don't know what Trent's injury is, right? I mean, it looks like he's
like 2-3 weeks or something.
Yeah.
Someone said, yeah.
You know, we haven't seen Liverpool without Trent in years. You know, they might just
Trent, no Robbo, no Diaz.
Yeah, I mean, they might just not function. You know,
they didn't function in the second half against Arsenal. They couldn't get the ball to their own half.
But I think, I don't think Darwin's a good punt. Our spots are limited. He's such an unknown. The team's not working. I wouldn't spend 8-8 there, even if he was 7-8. I just don't think that's. There are better picks in the game to me than risking it on Darwin. There's so many issues right now with Liverpool.
Yeah.
I just don't want anybody. I don't want Mo. I don't want a single player on the team in my FPL
I think the time for a Liverpool punt potentially, or even going back to Mo's game week 13, they have at NFO, home Leeds, at Spurs is obviously bad, and then home Southampton before the World Cup. So we'll get a better taste of. Yeah, absolutely. We'll get a better taste of who's nailed, how are they looking, whatever. Is Darwin? Maybe Darwin starts every game in the lead up to that. He's still looking good, getting a ton of shots. Then, all over it. But I tend to agree with you there.
Yeah. All right. Oh, God. Yeah. And after watching the Liverpool, watching the things and just sitting after, my initial thing was I need to get Kane and I need to get rid of Mo. I can't keep going on. That was my initial.
I think that's
gut
the
before the day ended.
Gut move. If I was running my brother's team, just do it, get it over with.
That's. So, what I actually do at the end of the week is a fucking who the fuck knows. It could be anything, but that's that's. Just
you're doing Mo to someone, Martial to Kane, right?
That's the easy route.
Easiest move ever. And then how much do you have for a midfielder? If you just punch that in.
Let me check.
Because that is just so glaringly obvious, especially with the Martial injury.
9-3.
So you could get fucking anyone. And the difference for me is that if Mitro's fit, I'm not that excited about getting rid of Dom or Mitro with their fixtures.
I know. I hear you, dude.
So then I'll have to figure that out, and it's a different problem in a weird way.
Yeah.
All right, we got some Chelsea questions too. Basically everyone's just asking about Reece and if he's worth it. Espen said, is he just an overpriced Lamptey? Chuck said, is it time to bail?
Oh, wow.
Chuck said,
harsh Lamptey.
Is it time to bail on Reece? Yuval wants a deep dive on Reece and Sterling. And then Jitterbug, was the Wolves game just a one-off chance for more guys to stake claim under Potter? Or do we think the whole Chelsea squad is going to be a rotation crapshoot from now on? I brought in Obs. I feel stupid, but is Reece also bad? Is anyone safe? Blah, blah, blah. So, what are you seeing with Chelsea?
Go ahead.
No, the number one place to start, I think, is that, this shouldn't come as a surprise. Potter was an absolute tinker, insane person his whole time under Brighton. And this season, I guess, was the one exception where it was pretty certain what the 11 was going to be. Maybe one or two spots were in and out.
They're top four. He can't.
Right.
So this is the
weird season. But every other season, it was fucking anyone's guess. There were probably 3 nailed players or something like that, I feel in the past 3 seasons. So that shouldn't come as a surprise. The Reece thing, he came out and said that he had a dead leg. So they just didn't want to risk him. So I still think he's probably Chelsea's best player and nailed, as far as I know, as long as he recovers from the injury. But we'll have Champions League to see. But other guys being rotated. Obs is fucking old and not that good. He should be rotated, and they have so much more talent and such a bigger squad than Brighton that Potter's ever worked with on any team, I'm sure, that it makes sense to rotate. If you're offering, do you want fresh legs with barely, if any, drop off, or do you want to just keep running the same guys out there? You'd be insane to choose, the latter. So, Yeah, I don't think Obbs is safe. I don't think Raz is safe. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do every week. He's still figuring the team out.
Yeah, I mean, I think FPL and IRL are very, disparate here. Or I don't know if that's the right word to use, but they're like divergent because, if I'm a Chelsea fan and I see him making, 7 changes and absolutely walk in the park,
destroy
Wolves at home in a game, right? You expect to win that game, but this is such a huge, I think, to me, sign of like that in Potter's favor that he's just going to be, really just fitting in well here because, he's able to correctly identify, like, we have an important game in Europe, like we want to fight 2 fronts and make the changes required and still get this performance means that, everyone is sort of singing to the same tune, which is difficult. I mean, it's like in theory should be easy because they're all going to the same meetings, they're all training together, but we see things like this happen and then they don't create anything until the 70th minute. It's still 0-0. And then you make 4 changes and then they still fucking don't score. And it's a 0-0 draw. And you're like, what the fuck happened? Why did he rotate so much? Right. So, that's a really good job by him. We don't know if it's going to be like a Pepino situation where it's just all hands on deck. He's going to be changing 5, 4, 6, and there are no, steady hands in the team sheet, which you could sell me that that's going to happen. I could believe that. That would be bad for FPL, but we need to just wait and see, right? We just need to wait and see. I think it's clear there are certain players that are first choice, right? Raz, Mount, Reese, et cetera. But we sometimes, especially when there's 6 games in a month, I mean, we're going to come back from the World Cup. There's going to just be pileups all the time.
Yeah, it's just pile up for the whole season.
For the whole season. Yeah. So being able to try and use this as kind of crash test dummy time to see, like, is there anyone who he's really not? Who are the 3 who are being unchanged? Like, who are the ones that they don't have depth in the squad to replace and he rates too highly that he can't do without? Oh, good, it's Ruben Loftus-Cheek. He should be in every team, right? That's where this is going to go. But whatever it is, I mean, I think that's kind of how we should be looking at this thing and seeing it. But
so I think that Reese is a hold, but I don't know. Hard. I'm not buying anyone really.
Yeah, and I think with Reese, it is also like we need to really look, when is he playing, right? Like, when is he playing wing back and when is he not? Because if you're looking at this player as he's missing 1 in 6 games, 1 in 5 games because of rotation, and he's playing right wing back in half the other games, that's not a pick, right? Unless they're keeping clean. I still
think it's a good pick. Yeah, because I expect cleans.
If the cleans are coming in at a high rate, okay. But,
and like,
that might happen, but we'll see.
Obviously, it feels like it was a fucking year ago, but, early season, he played some right center back. He played some, right back, and, Tuchel was kind of like going crazy. But then they need a goal late in the game, and Reese is the guy in the box scoring the goal. Like he did do that once this year. That guy, so. Yeah. If they're keeping cleans, which they were good for, and, the team is clicking, which I expect from Potter, still think he'll be good. But yeah, I mean, if he's like dropped another time, it's just like, you just got to get the fuck out of there, right?
Yeah. I mean, it also is still just looking, he's 6 million. It's not like he's got a ton of points. I mean, obviously his promise,
early season, he had the points.
Yeah. Eye test fine, whatever. Like, okay, but let's not get carried away here with him. I think it's like he's not some golden goose who's been like an unbelievable.
1, 2, 1, 0. Okay.
I mean, this is the bastard man. I mean, let's not forget that it's the bastard man.
Don't forget,
bastard man for a reason, right? And he's just gonna be problematic for periods.
I'm just gonna roll with him until the World Cup.
Yeah, you're in on Reese. I'm going to roll with my little 4-4 stainers.
They still have Villa, Brentford, Man United, Brighton, Arsenal, Newcastle. I'm just like, just do it for me. Get me some cleans. Get me some points.
No cleans to the World Cup.
It's certainly possible. I mean, I wish he was Cancelo, but he's not. So
yeah. Well, it could be for your low price of a few clicks.
Yeah, a few hits.
Yeah. No, just one hit. Few clicks, one hit.
Yeah, could be.
All right, what else we got here, baby?
We got some other questions. Voldy said Bowen versus Wilf. What are we thinking?
Well,
like
one
Bowen.
interesting one interesting thing with Bowen, I don't pay attention to anything about West Ham really outside of the Premier League, but if they win their game this week, they're clinched the group. That's a big deal, because if he can actually start playing all the shitters and stop playing Bowen and all the good players, every game, that's going to be a big boon for his stock, I think. So he's not running to the ground, but he looks good.
He just looks better and better. He's gotten better like every game. He's on pens.
On pens, yeah.
He's on corners. Crest doesn't fucking take corners anymore. He's just got everything. He's really just got everything. And, everyone's going to see the red fixture of at Liverpool, in Game Week 12. That is obviously, if you've been paying any attention at all, not a red fixture at all.
At Man United, not really bad either.
Yeah. So, and the others are insanely good.
Bowen, it definitely feels like Bowen time. I mean, granted, this is again, though, we look at this too. They played Thursday. They played the weekend. They're playing Thursday. They're playing the weekend. They're playing midweek. They're playing the weekend.
Yep. Not ideal.
Can Bowen start 6 games in 2.5 weeks? I
think he can.
Yeah. I mean, is the team going to function for all those? I don't know. It's just.
Yeah. I hear you.
That's a tough thing, just looking at them from that perspective, because they're going to be playing first team on Thursday.
Once a week.
Yeah, he's playing. He's playing all the games, and the team is chilling in the games that they're not playing. Right? I mean, this is just it's not just they just have this Thursday game. They get through it, then they're going to be okay. No, they just played Thursday, Saturday, Thursday, Sunday, Thursday. Right? So it's like it adds on to its stacks. I think that's kind of how that happens.
Yeah.
So I am a little bit worried about that.
I'm considering Moda Bone. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, and I mean, if I'm doing that, Bowen is on the very, very short list of players for me to consider in that, in that area. But I'm not completely I think the best time to get Bowen would be game week 13. Thursdays, assuming they win on Thursday, this little mini clusterfuck of games is over. There's 4 games till the World Cup. He's not going to play Europe. They're a game a week. That's when I would be like, this is a good stretch.
Good Bowen stretch.
It's just these next 2, assuming he starts on Thursday, I'm a little bit wary of,
Right. Yeah, I think that's fair.
And Wolf, I don't know. I mean, he was playing wide. He's playing really wide this weekend. Where the last 2 games, it was Eze, Olise. I mean, our balance is kind of weird.
Dude, Eze.
He's playing. Yeah, Eze is really good. But
Eze's stock keeps going up.
Yeah, he had a weird game, I think. But
he took some corners too.
Yeah, he's been taking corners. He's been taking corners all year. But I mean, having Eze, Olise, Zaha, Edward, it's just different. He's usually one of them isn't playing between Eze and Olise. But so I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Wolf was didn't look very good against Leeds for getting points. He didn't get any shots or wasn't getting central at all. But I mean, we still have really good fixtures, so he should still he's still returned. It's not the end of the world. But.
Yeah, he'll get points. They're both good picks.
Still has pens. Wolf's still in pens. Yeah, they're both good picks. Yeah.
Nosferatu said, for those of us that still have a wild card, are there any defenders you would punt on? I already have Trips and Cancelo. It's kind of interesting. Because those 2 are extremely obvious. Yeah, on wild card. What's the next defender that you would just want in your team? That's kind of tough. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think that they exist. I think you just get 4 or 5 guys. You get a bunch of weird ass 4 or 5 guys.
It's probably Saliba. Obviously he has the blank, so you need to account for that. Him. But every fixture's good except at Chelsea until the World Cup, and he's fucking so cheap. Still, he's 5.
I still kind of like Whitemore.
Yeah, I mean, he does actually get forward.
He gets forward. And he looks great, and he's a shout to sub off, which Saliba is not, which I love.
Yeah, banking. I don't know. Banking cleans is good, but he's also a shout to get rotated, which is scary.
I don't know. Is he? He's one of their best players every game. I feel like when I watch.
Yeah,
them.
I agree, but
who's he going to get rotated for? They're not in Champions League.
Tell me.
He fucking plays left back. Easy.
Just for a midweek or some shit like that, like this upcoming stretch.
I mean, is he going to start 38 games? Maybe he doesn't start 1 or 2, but I don't know if that's. I mean, 0.5 is a lot.
You're probably right.
0.5 is a lot,
especially on wild card. It goes a long way. Yeah. I don't mind that.
What's up with fucking Zinchenko this year, dude? He's like having a lost season.
He caught the Tomiyasu disease.
Seriously. It's so annoying.
MIA. Yeah. He was such a like fun guy to watch too.
Yeah.
He's just I don't know.
It's annoying.
Hamburg wants a 1 week punt for this game week. More team specific. Who should I replace Diaz with for this week? I'm wildcarding next week. Why the fuck would you wildcard in game week 12? When you want 3 City and 3 Arsenal and they're not playing. That seems really bad.
I mean, it should probably be like Saka or some Arsenal mid, right? I mean, whichever of the two you don't own. I mean, Leeds is the fixture that you want to target this weekend, I would guess. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that a lot. I like Bowen this week a lot. I mean, all the guys we've basically talked about, but I would fucking not wildcard next week for the record. Let the record show that makes no sense to me.
The record has noted this.
Thank you. Speaking of, Tio said Saka or Foden for this week specifically. I'm planning on bringing the other one in after the blank, so I'll have both from game week 13 onwards. Struggling to decide which one to jump on for next game week. So
it's got to be Saka.
I mean, I think it has to be. Yeah.
The fixture, I mean, at Liverpool isn't that hard, but I mean, Leeds is Leeds. Leeds is
bad. And Foden always scores against Liverpool. He's always played so well against Liverpool.
Wait, so you want Foden?
No, but you just can't go. The fixture is still just such a wide fucking chasm between them. Yeah. It's got to be Saka for sure.
Yeah,
he's getting better and better too.
Yeah.
123D said I'm looking for a cheap defender. Cess was fun last week. Is Doc fun this week? Absolutely not. Difficult to say, I know, but will he play, you think? Dire Straits followed up and said I need to upgrade Patterson and or Nico. Who are the good defenders? Villa and West Ham have pretty impressive expected goals conceded numbers, but can they be trusted? Is Dalot the move? It feels bleak out here. Cheap defender? I mean, did we just nail it with Ben White? Is it just Ben White season?
Yeah, I mean, he has the blank, which is which is the thing. But I think you definitely throw Ben White into that category. But yeah, you just 4 or 5 fucking shitters, baby. I mean, and Sess, I mean, Sess is Royale's still out.
Royale's still might be suspended.
It still might be a little short termist, but he looked good. Sort of. Like
he fucked up all the would-be chances that he had.
He got into the things, and he defensively was really good defensively.
Yeah, he was.
Like he won the ball back. He didn't make a single defensive mistake. I mean, I think you just pick your random fucking 4 or 5 shitter. Justin, I'm whatever. Anybody. Any fucking guy.
I still think West Ham are going to keep cleans. Obviously Soufal didn't work out for you, but they have mostly good fixtures. They're still a Moyes double-decker bus for the most part. I think that's a good place to go to.
Yeah, which the only issue with them is that that 12 is at Liverpool, which is like, I mean, if you're getting this pick, you're like, okay, I want to have a player. Yeah, I mean, you might as well then fucking go Ben White because 0 is probably a better chance than whatever. Maybe it's like a point or something, but yeah, you just pick whatever the fuck. But is it again Cresswell too? I mean, he's like 4'8". He's reasonable. He takes some corners, I think, doesn't he? Still,
he didn't take any corners last week. I just feel like we're seeing like a broken human. I don't know. He's just Cresswell? Like not the same guy. Yeah, he doesn't get forward. Like
he's old.
Yeah, he's old and has gotten injured a lot. I don't know. Last question was C Tyke. He said, "I'm wildcarding in game week 13. Which players or teams should we target for the next 2?" So the wild card game week 13, let the record show. I agree with that decision. That's good one by you. But yeah, next
the record will show it.
The next 2, I mean, it's got to be Dom Solanke, top of the list. At Fulham, home Southampton,
and Fulham have home Bournemouth, home Villa. The next 2, I don't know what you do with that. I don't know where you the get
Anthony Robinson season.
Yeah, right. But I mean, that's certainly somewhere to look.
Yeah, those are good.
There aren't many teams that. I mean, Leicester have 2 good ones, right? I mean, they have us at home
Palace,
and then home Leeds.
Yeah, Mattos should be good.
Yeah,
Matto, Barnes, maybe Daka punt.
What's up with Barnes? Did he play? How many minutes did he play? He played all 90 again.
He played, and did he get the assist on the Daka goal?
No.
Oh, because it was his shot blocked that then like turned into a Daka chance. I don't know. If that was Bowen, he would have got the assist. So Barnes, like,
well, we know that.
In air quotes, has an assist. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know.
That's about it.
Those are good teams.
Yeah, Brighton have a couple. I mean, Brentham and Forrest, the next two.
Yeah, I mean Forrest in 12 when you need him, you bring in Tross. Yeah, I do like that. I do think that is also another player that I'm like sort of looking at is Tross.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Let's go to our teams.
Okay. Yeah. So, what are you looking at?
Let me pull up my situation here for the YouTubers.
I mean, you're in a much different position than I am in that you have like actual players, like.
Yeah, I mean, so I have a full team. I very much do not need to make a move. Even if Mitro doesn't play, I have Pereira home Bournemouth,
which is like the same thing,
which is great. So saving is kind of very, very obvious, especially like the week before a blank and midweeks and Champions League. It just seems like a good time for me to save. The other the devil on my shoulder is like, hit out Mo, get Bowen. You're really into Bowen right now, and someone else, and just take a -4 and just get points.
Well, what is it about?
Don't really know what to look for there. Yeah.
What is it about Bowen that you're like turned on this much by with him? Like, is it just that, we've seen it before last year and like when he looks like this, that it's just he finds points or what?
Yeah, I mean,
because he didn't get points. I mean, he scored a pen. Like, I mean, they didn't do anything.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Scams did get a lot of chances, I guess.
Scam got a ton of chances. He's a good player that I've always rated. He's looking really good eye test wise. His numbers are backing that, supporting that. And I think the fixtures are exceptional through the World Cup. So, their red fixtures are at Liverpool, not a red fixture, at Man United, not a red fixture. And the others are at Southampton, home Bournemouth, home Palace, home Leicester. It's just like kind of silly. He's on corners, he's on pens, he's getting all the touches in the box and shots. It's just like literally ticks every box, in my opinion, as a pick.
Good case.
That's why, yeah. Mo to Bowen, I'm thinking about that for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
But I don't really know what will like push me in one direction or the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, maybe some players will get destroyed and murdered in Champions League.
That would make it easy.
Make some decisions for you.
Yeah, that would make it really easy.
I mean, I'm in
if Reese was just out. Oh my god. Later.
Yeah, fuck Reese. Bye. I mean, I'm in a similar spot where like I have a fine 11. I mean, like I don't have to do anything. I would have no bench.
Right.
But I mean, even if Martial doesn't, like assuming Martial doesn't play, I still have 11. It's still 3-5-2, basically the same team I ran out last week.
Right.
But, when I'm looking at like doing that's not fun, taking hits is fun. Like I just want to like get rid of players I'm pissed off at and mad at, I don't know where I'm going to end up. And like looking at game week 12, right. And just moving past that towards the World Cup, like I am like really sort of like wanting to just the faster I do Soufal and Patterson to, I don't know, fucking Mings and
White
Dickface. White. Yeah. Like it's just, I'm going to have more weeks to get those points back.
Yeah.
But it's not, I mean, now it doesn't make sense to do that now because I'm not going to start any of these guys, So I mean, I'm not like using transfers or taking hits to like cover my bench. And so, I mean, that just might be a game week 12. Like game week 12, I'm just hitting Patterson and Soufal out and I'm getting 2 players there who I'm going to start that week and using my rotation for the next 4 game weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I think that makes a lot more sense to save. You have 2 frees for 12 and you make like 4 moves. or three or four moves and just get everyone you want.
Yeah, I mean, well, then I think it comes back. If that's the case, though, I don't agree, because I think Mo at City, or Mo home City, is like, if I am like, I'm done with him, then I'd rather take the hit now, take the hit next, like just do all the things in that order, because, if Martial's not going to play, that makes my, getting Kane in easier now, getting someone better than Mo for the City fixture, which I don't expect him to get any points in unless they get a pen or something. He kind of actually does.
I still think they're gonna.
Like.
Yeah, I honestly think that Liverpool are still gonna score like 2 goals. Probably they're gonna lose.
Well, they score 2-3 goals every game, and Mo doesn't get any points. So
that is true. But I don't think Mo. I don't think this is like a horrible Mo fixture or anything like that.
I think I do. Because more like we talked about, I was talking about the injuries. Like I'm so worried about how they're going to progress the ball.
They just get completely dominated.
They might just, they might just like completely not failure to launch.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. Yeah, I could.
Because if this was a fully formed, like, Robbo, Trent are in, like midfields, whatever. It's like this or that, like front three. Like, I wouldn't be like, I'd be like, Mo, anyone, they could score like a win.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. It's just not like anywhere near the first 11 really at this point. Yeah. Tough call. I mean, if Martial's out, I lean towards just get Kane for him.
Yeah. And pick whoever.
I'd probably just lean that way anyway for you, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think just doing that is just better. Like, listen, I love Tony Gloves. You love Tony Gloves. He is a walking injury. Like he may never be fit
until he's not.
But he's not. So
he was fit when he woke up on Sunday.
Maybe not, because he pulled up in like warm-ups early, or left warm-ups early or something like that. Starts anyway and gets subbed in 28 minutes. So I don't know what the fuck he's up to. He has
2 goals and 2 assists in 104 minutes.
There's no question that he's a good player and looks good and is playing well, but I just don't expect him to stay fit for any stretch of time at all. Whereas like you could
a single game when he's fit in the morning.
Yes, even that. And you don't want Mo, and you're just ready to give in to Kane. Like, it's probably just better for me with Mitro. I think it's harder because Mitro,
he's an actual good pick with good
is
fixtures.
A fucking incredible pick with 4 incredible fixtures. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'll mull that over.
Yeah. And then who are we capping? Because we're obviously not capping Holland.
I'm definitely capping Holland.
Just kidding, bro. Come on.
God. I was like, what are you talking about?
Oh my God. Get the fuck out of here. Liverpool are going to concede like 4 or 5 probably. Like, it might just be a fucking bloodbath.
It could be.
Could absolutely be. I mean, the title's over, which sucks, but City deserve it, so good job by them, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Pep could want to just go in there and like raised earth, like torch
revenge
the fucking
for
all of the things, whatever, anything. I don't know, who knows.
Yeah.
All right.
Let me slap passes. 2 new Patreon signs. We got Richard Melor and Ichi Ebereche Ibe. I don't know what the fuck.
Jordan
I feel like
brother?
I feel like it's a Jordan Ibe, Eze reference or some sort of like meme of a name, but I don't know what the fuck he's. Anyway, let's get in there, baby. Oh, my voice is dying, bro.
Yeah, we're done.
Any last words, Zip?
We'll do scouting tomorrow. My life on Thursday.
Scout tomorrow. My life Thursday.
Gonna keep pumping it out.
And then we have a really busy week.
Yeah, and then we're going to be doing Sunday
night pod, Wednesday night public pod. No Friday Night Live next week because of the midweeks.
And then we'll be back. Then we'll be back on a normal schedule, yeah.
Okay, bro. Good job by you.
Right,
check
see you tomorrow.
us out. See you tomorrow at FMLFPL.com. Follow us on Twitter at FMLFPL. SportsMedia.com/FMLFPL. Subscribe, rate, review. Yeah!